Good morning, friends of the deer that may feel some bit of pain during hunting season, although we may also appreciate those that can go out and bring home food for their families, especially during a time where it's getting somewhat more expensive for people to feed their family or clothe their family or house their family. So on this holiday, I'm guessing this is a holiday of the United States, or the somewhat United States, or the disunited States, or whatever story you're making up currently about the country, and whether you're on one side and somebody else is on another side, and therefore you can never have good feelings about them because they voted for one person or another. And today, when I think of holidays, and I think of holy days, and I think of sacredness, and the loss of the sacred, at times it feels like that for some. I'm one of those that sometimes feels the loss of the sacred. So I've already done one video today where I was releasing emotional energy while I did the video, and this is going to be another one. Just because I find myself working with the world field and wanting to report on it, because I think when I report on it, people can sometimes feel better knowing that they're not alone, knowing that they're maybe just able to feel more than others. And sometimes the people that may be able to feel more than others sometimes feel more and are sad about that. Sometimes they don't know how to turn down the volume of the movie that they're watching called life. And the only holiday I really liked as a child was Thanksgiving, because there wasn't a pressure of presents. There wasn't a pressure per se of getting dressed up and going to church. There was oftentimes, I think, a football game, and I grew up in a very sports-oriented family. So there was that thing that was going to be done. There wasn't as much drinking on this holiday. And I liked turkey. So, it was like, it was a holiday somewhat, having been brought up or brought down, depending on perspective, in the Catholic Church. It was a holiday made in heaven. Food and it was like an agreement that there was an armistice on Thanksgiving. People tended to not be as cruel to each other in the family. and we always had the same couple, two couples, a couple of couples over for dinner, and Rocky Marino, I know it sounds like a fight movie or something, but Rocky Marino was an artist, a photographer, and an amazing piano player. And so he would always just bring joy. He just was, he was, he and his wife, Mary, never had children. I think maybe wanted children. My parents had 5 children, and if they could have given me to Rocky and Mary, I'm sure they might have thought about it. But Rocky and I would have done well together because I would have been interested in everything he did, and he would possibly have felt he had time to explain things to me. He could make swans out of dinner napkins, kind of dinner napkin origami swans. And he was such a kind-hearted man. And his gift to me, he wasn't my relation genetically, but some of the people that had the most positive effect on me weren't my genetic relationships. Well, had just effect on me, period. Be it perceived positive or negative, but Rocky Marino was an adult who never grew up. And he framed my idea of the life I would like to live. I would like to be able to appear as an adult and yet never grow up. And I'm successful at this so far. At the age of 73, I get haircuts. I sometimes wear halfway decent clothes, and I can pay my bills, and I have a vehicle, and I've had a job as long as I can remember. Okay, so a lot of that was just avoiding the pain. And so it was useful to stream these memories through for a couple minutes before getting to, once again, what I feel in the world. And this will be for all of you who watch this, who may have described yourself as overly sensitive. And I came up, or too sensitive, and I came up with a term that I use to describe myself that I find very useful. I describe myself as perfectly energetically aware. And when I say that, notice if you notice the change. Because I'm going to repeat it 3 times, because 3 times the charm. I am perfectly energetically aware. It makes me shake too. So if it makes you shake, that's okay. Something's happening, something's transforming. So I'm feeling the shaking as well. I am perfectly energetically aware. I'm in service to the world. I have come to ease the suffering of any that I can help to ease the suffering by teaching how to unhook the emotions from experiences that were overwhelming for us. And they're coming right up the surface, so as you're watching this, you might feel 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 this. You might feel all of those and more. There may be other places you're feeling. And I'll tell you that you may want to, I changed this belief not very long ago. I'd say a week ago, I finally let go of this belief that in order to heal, I needed to suffer. That healing needed to be a struggle. I no longer believe this. There's only one thing required to heal, and that is to quit holding on to what's causing the pain and suffering. And it takes, initially it takes a little bit of imagination. So let's just go with this pain in the center of the chest. And already, by you having your attention on it, by me having my attention on it, it's already starting to soften a bit. And before, there was some of that vibrational intensity that it had, because we were trying to stop it from coming to the surface, and now we've stopped trying to stop it from coming to the surface. Because every one of these events has a little portion of us trapped inside that would love to come back to the community that we are. So as children appearing to be adults, appearing to be older, wiser, kinder, gentler, I'm going to suggest that you prove it. That you prove it right now to this one child in you. This one in the center of your chest that right now is aware that you're talking with it. And this part of you has held the energies of this trauma, this overwhelming event, ever since they happened. Could have been in another lifetime. Could have been a trauma of one of your ancestors, one of your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. Anyone in that line, this could have been their trauma that you've carried in this lifetime because it was passed down to you to release it. Or this could have been in your infancy. This could have been gestational. This could have been in your early childhood, your middle childhood, your late childhood. And you just watch when I say those words and you feel this ping. And that ping indicates the resonance, like, oh, this was then. And then you decide to let that younger you share with this slightly more mature you, never very mature, but mature enough, share with you its feelings. And you're a receptacle, an open vessel for the feelings of this loved one, which is you. And you let them out, and you feel them come out, and you feel them spread out. You feel them reach out into your hands, reach down into your legs, reach down into your feet, move their way up into your head, open their way to the higher realms, open their feet to the healing center of the earth. And I was just instructed in those words, to use those words that affected me powerfully. So whether that was Arlen, whether that was some other aspect of the universal consciousness that was showing me a way, and now we're just going to put our hands over this aspect of ourself that's just come out of the closet, of the place it was hiding, holding those feelings. And we're going to say, I choose to release, integrate, and accept these feelings as mine. And I choose to accept those feelings that you feel as mine. I choose to accept you as me. Any love in my heart, any peace in my deep self, I share with you as me. This is the embodiment of the idea that we are one. And this is how it moves from an idea to an experience where we know that you and I are one. May you feel well today. May you feel at peace today. May you feel love and loved today, as every day is a holy day with you, dear. Bless your heart. That was something my mother would say. When I'd leave the house, she'd say, bless your heart. From my mother to you, through me. Bless your heart.